good?
Ready? Let's do it.
We're good.
Hey.
So kids, let this be a lesson to you. Do not do steroids or any recreational drugs. This is what happens to you. No one loves a druggie.
A lot of times you work with someone who's not familiar with effects or familiar a little bit with effects, and they're kind of afraid to let the experts that they've hired do their job. Stephen, because he knows about effects, he knows the passion with which all of us get into this business and why we're in the business and what we do on a daily basis, he wanted to hear it because he was spread in 100 other directions. So that was a real plus on the show. I mean, I wouldn't say he just let me run rampant. He gave us a lot of direction. He gave us very intelligent direction. So it was a real welcome opportunity, actually.
Yeah, you look great. That's really good, actually.
So I just do some of his shit and some of your good, Steve, yeah?
Yeah, no, it's all good. Lots of energy. Action, please.
One of the things that kind of made it a little bit difficult to get started initially on this is, we all knew from the comic that Hyde was going to be bigger than life. And Stephen had a great idea on how to make him bigger than life. We would make this somewhat overscaled suit, which really is pretty overscaled, but not so overscaled that it would be cumbersome to walk around in, and then digitally apply him into the scenes. The problem was we didn't have an actor, so we really couldn't start. I mean, we could do sketches, seeing how Kevin O'Neill's beautiful design would translate into the real world over a real actor, which really wasn't that big of a problem because the thing was so big. So I'm thinking, we're losing a lot of time. I really want this to be amazing. What can we do? And I didn't want to harass Stephen too much and insisting that he get an actor, because Stephen's goal was to hire someone that would be able to portray Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, so he could get the performance, even though the actor was going to end up wearing an incredibly uncomfortable device. So that was kind of a hard thing to find.
And action, please. Very good. Let's do it again. You good to go again, Joe?
So what we determined was building it in the typical way, doing a life cast of an actor and making a duplicate of their body, and then sculpting the change, and then molding and casting that in foam rubber would never work because it was so big. The guy would just be buried, he'd be stuck in it, and the foam would have been this thick, it wouldn't have moved. It would have killed him from heat exhaustion. I mean, there were a million reasons it wouldn't work. So we decided that we had to build all of the muscles individually over a frame that the actor would wear, and then in some places, for instance, in the shoulder blades, actually put working skeletal points in, and then stretch a very, very thin skin of foam rubber over that. And it sounds easy, but it wasn't. It was really, really difficult. Because imagine what we had to do was basically work in reverse, where we sculpted it in components first, this giant sculpture. And then we had to go back and recreate the individual muscle groups for the entire body, and then a skeletal structure under that.
And now Hyde is coming on.
I feel like I'm out of practice today. I haven't done this in a while.
All actors, want to transform themselves and do, De Niro does it through, character work and stuff, and I can't really do that, so I've decided the only way to do it is to do 7.5 hours of prosthetic, and that's, it's a huge challenge to do that much makeup. But at the end of it, when you look in the mirror, it's really exciting to see yourself totally transformed. And so Jekyll became Hyde. So the prosthetic is a facial prosthetic, which takes about 6 hours to put on and an hour and a half into a bodysuit. It's really cool, though. It's like, Steve Norrington is, his history is, monsters and special effects, and he says he's never seen a prosthetic or a body like it, so it's quite cool to be part of that, I think.
What we did in order to facilitate Jason's performance coming through was really keep it very, very thin on the most mobile area of the face. I mean, it's almost not there. What we did is we ended it in natural areas of the face, like in the line of the nasolabial right here, the shadow of the lip and the chin meeting there, under there. So the shadows of the face would actually help hide the edges. But as it begins to go away from the most mobile areas, it gets really, really thick. I mean, this is a really thick jawline. And it actually does change his face quite a bit. If you saw a photograph of Jason right next to this, you'd go, oh my God, that's a pretty major change. change, but because it's so thin in here, it doesn't really look like it. And we also reshaped his head pretty thickly back here to give him more of a Cro-Magnon look.
I guess the trick is with this stuff is you have to go to a very calm place, which I find in video games, but someone deeper than me might find in Buddhism. Hide is a-coming. You better run. You better lock up your children, because Hyde's a-coming. He'll be about 5.5 hours, and then you better get out of the way.
Once the sculpture is completed and the mold is made, it really doesn't take forever. The hair work is what took so long. The way it's made is you mix the foam in 4 components, 4 liquid components, mix the amount of air in it that you want in order to get at the density that you want. In this case, we wanted them very soft. Inject it into the mold, bake it in the oven for 4 or 5 hours, and if there's no real problems like steam traps, then you've got your appliance out in about a day. Then we had to take a seam off because the whole thing was basically one piece here. And that took about a day, and then we had to paint it, pre-paint it, that took about a day, and then the hair took a goddamn week.
Each head is only used for 1 day's filming. And the hair is individually, what's the word for it, Margaret?
Inserted or punched in.
Punched. Each hair is individually punched. And that's about 40 hours of work. And then the face painting and freckling is probably about another 10 hours. So each day is 50 hours of prep. So they're very expensive. So, and at the end of each day, we just go. It's better like it's good at working with a mirror.
So go like do like this kind of stuff.
Yeah, the way the foam moves in the stomach's not bad at all. Doesn't look unnatural.
We made 5 full suits, 5 full torsos, as well as 12 pairs of arms. And there really was no difference between the stunt suits and the hero suits, because the stunt performer had to do so much action in the film. I mean, Jason did a lot of the performance, and specifically the close-ups and the facial stuff. But you know, it was a hard suit to wear. So the stunt performer suits had to still be good suits. They weren't just like for being drugged through the streets of Venice. We had a couple of dummies for that kind of thing, but they had to be hero suits too, because there were a lot of times when we were shooting over the shoulder, or in the entire Paris rooftop scene, except for the real tight close-ups of the stunt performers.
That was excellent. Thank you, Kevin. Please relax. Good.
I'm going to be saying that in my head anyway.
3, 2, 1, bang.
2, 1, and then I'm going.
I'll upset on that.
Okay, great.
Right.
Let's get this going.
Let's go.
Thank you. I'll pick you up at the bottom.
No one goes forward once we have cut. Okay, the only person who goes forward to see how Kevin is Eddie, okay?
Takže žádný tleskání po pádu, dokud se neřekne cut, že je konec. A jediná osoba, která v tu chvíli půjde za Kevinem, je Eddie. Takže všichni zůstanou na místě.
Roll all cameras.
Speed on me!
Speed on me!
Okay, and 3, 2, 1, bang!
You cutting?
And cut. Yeah.
Jason?
Yeah, it's just Jay, mate. Bloody well.
What's up, dude?
I'm so fucking impressed.
Not just yet.
Just watch his eyes out. Mate, that was unreal. It looked absolutely wicked.
Did it?
Yeah, wicked.
You know, it was weird.
You want me to do it?
It was like the never-ending rain of
Bricks.
tiles. What the?
You must have landed and gone, yeah, that went fine. Oh my God, what's all this shit?
It was like boom, 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 boom.
Here comes the eye work. Okay. Well done, mate. Unbelievable. Thank you.
It's fucking great. Drop your hand down. Turn around for a second. Okay, so that back plate and maybe some additional padding and stuff would take care of it, all that shit. There were, I think, 12 different pairs of arms made for different reasons. One pair was pretty straightforward and self-contained, which was like this. And as heavy as it is, it still works pretty well. So this was used when Jason was just walking around and you wanted some life to the arm. But you can see how it works. Basically brass knuckle there, and by altering, so they comply also when he holds on to things. So they're pretty damn cool. That's all it does, but it's just one bar, so it's pretty easy. And the wrist is kind of kinetic, so. So these were a fairly standard pair that were used, and we wanted to really do something that required a lot of dexterity. We had a pair of arms that had full cables running out of them and external operators that could operate the fingers through a slave system so that Jason could very easily pick things up or grab onto handles, that kind of thing. And so we had lightweight stunt versions, fully mechanical ones, these internally self-motivated ones, and then a couple of specific sculptures, this being one, the fist, because anytime you end up with a sculpture that's in a neutral position and you try to force it into a fist, if you've just got some type of wire in there, it's always going to look a little bit mushy. So we actually sculpted fists so we could get the hard bones and the anatomy that a fist would have, thinking, of course, Hyde would be smashing a lot of things with his fists.
This is us, 7.5 hours in. About that, guys? 6.5 hours in. Can't understand why no one else wanted the part.
I'm gonna get my helmet on, and Hyde's going out there. Damn straight. We ain't taking no shit from them guys no more, no way.
I mean, I hate to say just the standard bullshit, but he was good to work with. I mean, he really did want to make it work, and he was really, you know, excited to wear the suit. It wasn't one of those things where it was beneath him. And so therefore, he was really on our team. I mean, I really felt like he was looking out for us, before himself even, which is kind of rare. I mean, he really wanted to make sure that Margaret got enough sleep and that everyone was being treated well, because, you know, it basically took something like 8 people to get him up on screen, and he was really, really cool about it and very thoughtful.
What were you saying?
We're not to see Jason till after lunch.
Oh, you're kidding me. That's horrible.
Why do you do that, you horrible people?
I didn't, but it basically means with the time schedule that we have, we'd have to take an early lunch and then come back to your shot after lunch.
Okay, no worries. Whatever Steve says is best.
No, this is not a problem being in that, is it?
No, none at all.
Since you've been up since 4:40 in a car, coming here, 6 hours prosthetic.
I could do with a little bit more time preparing. Whatever's good for the film, that's what I say. 2 more weeks to go. Yeah.
All right, here we go. Next step coming.
Best not have too many apple boxes, hey?
Yeah. Blow the budget.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, man.
I think that the reason why Mr. Hyde in this film is there as a practical creation is, you know, it's complicated. Well, number one, Steven knows effects. You know, did he want the Hulk in his movie? No. And he knew that's what it would end up being like. And, you know, not to insult that process or that creature or that film at all, I love digital stuff. I mean, I see the potential. I see that suddenly you can do anything you want, and it's a hell of a lot easier in some respects than standing behind a camera while a bunch of people are pulling cables and, you know, waiting for makeup to be applied. But I think that the truth of what the future of effects is going to be about is going to be a real blend of the two things. You know, I really do, and I think nobody's really found that path yet to where we both really complement each other, because there's advantages to both. There really are, and there's, you know, a lot that can be done and accomplished by blending the two techniques that hasn't really been even tapped yet. So that's my feeling, and I just think that this character, I'm happy, is on the screen the way it is, and I think a lot of other people really think it turned out really well too.
Very good. Cut it. How was that then? Rodrigo? Yeah, looked very good. Let's get Jason down.